I got like a half hour, 45 minutes.
Cool, sounds good. Well, I just kind of want to know what you're up to musically since I met you last in, was that over Christmas break, early January?
Early January, mid-January.
Mid
Yep.
January, yep, you played at Brothers out here in Wisconsin. So I guess we'll start from there. I just want to hear what you're up to. What was your success playing in Wisconsin or in Brothers? How was your response there? And tell me more about what you're doing right now. Love to hear about it.
Um, so going back to Eau Claire was pretty cool because I went to school there for 2 years. Um, First year, I didn't even play guitar yet. I picked up my first guitar when I was like 20 and started playing it. I was living with three girls at the time, and that's what I did basically. I would go to class, hang out with the wrestling team, and then play my guitar. Um, and then I left. I transferred to UWO, went there for a year, and then I dropped out, and now I sing. So coming back there to see all my friends that didn't really know what I was up to was pretty cool. And I knew half the people in the place. I mean, there's 150 to 200 people that went through there that night, and I knew half of them. So it was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, when I went, it seemed like a great reception. It was pretty early even when I showed up and recorded one of your songs.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I think a lot of people like that on YouTube. It's got a couple hundred views, pretty quick at least. I don't know where they came from, so your name's definitely out there.
Yeah, I shared it. That's it's probably one of my most popular ones that I play. I like that one probably more than any other song that I've written, and it was the second one I ever wrote.
That's awesome. Yeah, the first time I heard it, I was like, yeah, that's catchy. Sick. Go back and tell me. So you've been playing guitar for 2 years. I've been playing guitar for about 2 years as well. Uh, how'd you start, and when did you start playing, and why did you start playing? Music background, all of that.
um, I've always really enjoyed music. I would say country music was the most familiar to me growing up. And then I got into middle school, and I got my own iPod, so I could start listening to my own stuff. It wasn't just the parents' car radio anymore, and technology was advancing and stuff. So I got into some alternative stuff like All American Rejects, or like more poppy stuff like Maroon 5. And then I got into rap a little bit, like Eminem, Kid Cudi, a bunch of different stuff. And then I kind of came back around to country music around the end of high school. Really started digging into it, started going way back. I've always been kind of a history guy, so digging into country music from the 60s and 70s. And then I decided it was just time for me to get a guitar. I learned a little bit of keyboard in like eighth grade and played it throughout high school and stuff, but nothing too fancy. Yeah, I just got it, and then I mean, I've played it a ton since. It's just like it was nonstop, and I advanced pretty quickly just because I did it so much.
About how many hours would you say? I mean, that's a question a lot of people ask when they pick up an instrument. Oh, how many hours a day should I practice? I mean, if you love it, it doesn't seem like it's that much, but it's all the time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I would say on average since I got it on July 10th, 2020, I think, or 2019. 2019. Um, Probably 3 hours a day on average since then.
That's awesome. That's cool. You have
Which
the
sounds,
date marked down too. That's hilarious.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's easy to remember because it was also the 2 years later. It was the same date of my first show, my first live show ever. They have
Uh,
the same date. So from the day I got my guitar to my first live show was exactly 2 years. So that's why I remember it.
that's hilarious. Where was it at? I think you said a wedding. Was it?
No, it was
You-
it was up in Crandon, Wisconsin, in a gravel pit. It's a thing I did this last year too, and I'll do it again this year. It's like it came about because of COVID. Those guys up there go to the Hodag all the time, but they couldn't that year because it got canceled. So they called it COVID Hodag. So it was just Kodag is what it was called.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, we've kept doing it. So it's now it's in. They moved it up to June though, so it happens in June now. But it's still pretty cool to go back there.
What's the venue like?
It's literally outside on a trailer in a gravel pit.
Oh, okay,
Just a bunch of rednecks hanging out. That's what we do.
sick. There's a lot of country music out there. How do you pick out what songs you want to learn versus the songs you like, or is your taste still pretty like is it pretty mainstream to where it's easy to just go, I like this music, I'm gonna play it, and it also happens to be popular.
Hmm. I would say it's a pretty good mixture of of the three things. Like so a third of my songs I like to play, and I don't really care if anybody else likes them. If I sing them well, play them well, they're going to sound good. People will enjoy it. Probably a third of the songs I play, I enjoy them, and everybody else also really enjoys them. Like they're like popular songs, like "Should Have Been a Cowboy" or "Barefoot Blue Jean Night" or "Dust on the Bottle." Those types of songs, and then another third I just learned because I knew that basically I had to. Like some examples, it'd be like "One of Them Girls" by Lee
Like
Brice.
Wagon Wheel and
I actually like
those.
playing Wagon Wheel.
Yeah.
Guilty pleasure of mine.
That's
I
a
do enjoy
classic.
it. It is.
It's like a pineapple on pizza song. Some people love it. Some people hate it.
Yeah. I met a couple last summer that said they'd never heard the song before. They're like 50.
Wow, really?
I'm like, yeah, thought for sure they were lying, but no, they were pretty persistent about it. They were like, yeah,
That's
we've
so
never.
funny.
I'm like, how? You like can't avoid that song.
That's
But yeah.
hilarious. How's your gigging changed? Because winters are so long in Wisconsin. I'm sure summer gigs are a blast. Do you just transfer over to bars once it gets cold, or what's your venue like when the weather
Um.
just switches up?
So through the winter, I play my regulars a lot, and I'll play less. I'll play like probably an average of 10 to 15 times a month instead of like 20 to 25. So I definitely drop some venues as September and October come around, and especially November through March are pretty slow. But I would say April through October, if I wanted to, I could play 20 shows a month, but I'm going to try to keep it closer to like 15 to 20. The summer will just be hectic just because, every day I'm going to play. That's where you make your hay.
Yeah, absolutely. You said you're playing in Green Bay weekly now during the summer, is what you
Yeah.
said last time we talked.
Yep. I'll be on the beer garden stage at Anduzzi's every single Tuesday. That's the one off of Holmgren right by Lambeau Field. And
And
I'm
when does that
excited.
start specifically?
So it will be every Tuesday in June, July, and August.
Love it. That's really cool. And have you done that before, or is that new scheduling?
No, this is new. I partnered with them. This will be my second year of doing this. So last year we partnered up. They got me in at all their venues, and it went really well. So they said they wanted to do a weekly thing, and they reached out to me first, and I was super grateful for that, and I jumped on it right away. We have a really good relationship.
That's cool. You have been to Green Bay once. It's a really beautiful area, and in the summer, I'm sure it's just like
Yeah,
rocking.
it's a lot of fun. We have fun over here.
What kind of tunes? I know you were telling me you wanted to play some out there. What kind of tunes did you want to do? Your regular set? Are you gonna do something special? What do you got planned for that? If you've even started planning for that?
Like when I have guests on Tuesdays, is that what you're talking
Yep,
about?
yep.
Yeah, so I would think it'll be a combination of a bunch of things. I think that I'm gonna have them play some of their favorite covers.
Hmm.
I'll play some of my favorite covers. I'm gonna have them play some of the songs that they wrote that they think will go over well, and I'll play some songs that I wrote. And then I'm gonna try to get people that I've actually written with on that stage so we can sing songs that we wrote together. And then there's another thing. Oh yeah, and then we'll try to like cross genres if we have to, and do some like collaboration stuff, and just like send verses back and forth, or do just random pop songs or something like that.
Yeah. Are you gonna do the same type of setup you had? You usually do the bars with just your electronic and your bass, or are you gonna have maybe a drummer or anything else mixed into live?
So for something like that, I would just it would just be acoustic. It would just be guitar and vocals. My bass player won't be there. He doesn't play with me a ton. He started joining up with me around the end of December, I think, and he'll play like every other weekend or something like that. He just likes doing it. So no,
Which
my
do you
bass
like
player.
better?
What's that?
Which do you like better, playing alone or with your bass player?
Yeah, definitely with my bass player.
Yeah,
When you
for
have
sure.
somebody up there, like it's just makes you feel more comfortable.
Hmm.
It's less pressure because you got somebody to talk to. You're not like relying on people you've never met to be able to just like have a conversation.
Hmm. Love that. That's cool. Oh, how did you start just diving right into the gigging scene? Was it hard to just like
Hmm.
call places and be like, "Let me play. I promise I'm decent." You know, what's that look like when you're a
Yeah,
fairly new musician going to do it?
it was kind of like that to start. After my first show, I texted my parents. I was like, I want to do this, every weekend. And I was looking into some musicians that were playing a bunch in Green Bay, and I saw that it was possible. So I said, this is what I'm shooting for. And through some family connections, I got into a couple bars near my hometown, and then through some friends, I got into a bar in Green Bay, and then just doing a bunch of research on like who's singing and where they're singing and what venues are having music. It was a lot of cold calls and a lot of getting rejected or not even answered at all. I would say half the time they would say they weren't interested, and then the other half the time was like I would never hear from anybody. So it was tough for a while, but kept my head down. So my first year was 2020. In September, I maybe had like 4 shows. October was maybe like 5, and then November 9, December I had 14. So that's pretty much when it took off, and that's when I knew I would be able to do it full time. And then January I had 14, and then we got into summer. We're playing upwards of 20 to 25 shows a month. And last year I played 225 shows total. So I don't want to play that many again. That was a lot. It was too much. It was not good for my mental health, but it was good for the business to get my name out there and get into all these different venues. So yeah, I'd like to do like 175 or so. That would be better.
Wow. Yeah, that's the one question. That was my first question, right? When I met you and wondered, wow, you said you just started playing a couple years ago. What's that look like? And it's kind of what it sounds like or what you'd expect. You just start doing it.
It was a grind. It's like I have some friends in sales, and they tell me how lucrative it is, but it's 95% rejection starting out and like 5% success, and then you on the back end you get paid for it, so it makes it worth it. But it's tough. It's like starting any business. It's hard. It was hard at first, but now I'm where I need to be, and I don't need to try so hard. I don't need to beg for attention from other venues now.
Right. Highs and lows of the solo traveling gigging musician. I haven't met too many just since I've started going to school the past 2 years more often. Many that are doing it.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see you doing it. Highs and lows. Let's hear them of what you're living like.
Just in general, I would say a high is connecting with people. I get to meet so many people every week, and it's just amazing the types of people you meet. Like you meet CEOs and you meet professional football players and you meet vice presidents of massive companies, and they're just like chilling in the bar listening to your music. That's pretty cool. And then a lot of the friends I've made have been through that, and personally, I have a lot of support from my hometown, so that's definitely a high. A low would be the schedule is weird. I'm in the bars, especially in the summer. I'm in the bars almost every single night. And I can do it now because I'm young and single. But once I get married and start having kids, it's just not going to be something I can do. So at that point, I plan to be touring and just being like a recording artist with enough followers that I can make money by not playing 4 times a week.
Yeah. And how old are you? You're about my age, 23?
23. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, we're both 23 for sure. Love that.
Yeah. So the lows, it gets lonely just because it's weird sometimes, but it's so rewarding. Yeah, all it takes is one moment on stage over a weekend to be like, yep, this weekend was worth it,
Definitely. You've traveled to Nashville more than once, haven't you?
Yep, I've been going every month since October. I don't think I went in November, actually, but yeah.
And you drive there, and what's the experience like in Nashville?
I only drove once because I was going through Cleveland, Ohio. I had some shows over there. So I fly there, and I've been staying with some buddies of mine from Wisconsin, actually. So I'm spending less than $500 on a trip, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I got hooked up with a producer there, Sean Giovanni from the record shop. He set me up with some co-writes. And since then, just through networking and meeting people, my connections have been growing, and I've been writing with different people. I've been writing with some pretty cool people with a lot of experience, writing some good songs. And I played my first Nashville stage 3 weeks ago today. It was called the New in Town Special at Winners. That's where they have Whiskey Jam. So I got this hat. Whiskey Jam is one of the biggest rounds in the city. It's pretty cool. So I was on stage for the New in Town Special and hoping to get into more writers rounds down there.
Awesome. That's sick. My last question. Oh yeah, upcoming. I guess to finish off, what are your plans for the future? What are you working on? Let's shout it all out. I want to hear it.
So this month I am playing the first weekend in Wisconsin, and then I'm taking 3 to 4 weeks of vacation time because I've been working my tail off since basically last March. Like I said, I played 225 shows last year, and that's 4.5 shows a week. It was a lot. I worked hard. I made a good chunk of change, and now I'm going to spend some of it and just recover mentally, I think, before another hectic summer. Something else we got planned. I'll have a band starting in May. The end of May, we have our first band show, May 20th at Buzzes and Freedom. And then I'll be playing with the band once or twice a week all summer. So that's exciting for me because I've never really done that. I had my first band show actually. What's today? Tuesday. I had it on Sunday. We played for the Hodag Pickoff. That was my first time ever on stage with a band, and it was awesome. So if it's anything like that all summer, I'm going to have myself a good time. Some other things we got going. I'm still writing just about every day, writing with new people every week. I have plans of releasing a song by the end of 2022. So we're in the early stages right now of just configuring our plan, like which promoters are we going through and what people are we trying to reach, and that kind of just the logistics of it before actually diving into the studio. So we're kind of coming up with a business plan first. And then once we have that recording done, we'll know exactly, how are we marketing this and how are we doing all that stuff. So we won't really have to think about it too hard. All the hard work will be done.
Awesome. That's so cool. Love to hear it. Just the projects and the work.
Yeah. Another thing I should probably mention, I just started this and it totally slipped my mind.
Oh, you're fine.
But I started an Instagram page called Nashville of the North, and it is a Nashville style writers round. Created in and for Wisconsin, and basically it's going to be what I said. It's going to be exactly like a Nashville round. I'm going to try to get all the people that are writing songs in Wisconsin, writing country songs or country based songs, to follow that page and to build a community there, so we can all write with each other. And everybody has their own following, like I have my own following, and all these other people, they have their own set of fans. So if we can put 9 people with a good set of fans in the same room, I think we can really fill it up and just kind of let the original music scene kind of take off a little bit, because the cover scene's really good. That's how I make my money here. But I don't want to cover songs in bars for the rest of my life. I want to have my own songs that get on the radio that I get paid for.
I saw that pop up and I was wondering. I was like, "This is perfect. This is totally your style." That's hilarious that you're the one that created it. I love it.
Yeah. I don't want to make it about me either. That's not what it's about. It's not going to be promoting myself as a writer. I'll probably be on most of the rounds just because I will be the host of most of them. But it's just about finding the writers and building a community, because it's hard to do here just because this is not Nashville. We don't have 100,000 people that wake up and write a song for country radio every day. It's just not like that. So we need to get off our little musical island and get on the same boat. That's what I'm trying to do with this.
That's awesome. Let me know anyone can help with that just locally, because that's so cool.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll be invited to one of them. All you'll need is 3 original songs, and you'll be on stage with other musicians. You'll go right down the line. You play 3 songs, then you'll get off. Next group will come on.
I love that. That's exactly what we need in this area, yeah. Because the music's there, and the cover scenes are totally there. Everyone's covering. I've been to open mics around here. It's great, but having a centralized hub would be even better. Yeah,
totally. And I'm gonna try to bring this thing to every town. So I'll probably have multiple ones in Green Bay and Appleton, just because that's where I'm located. But I want to get to Manitowoc, and I want to go to Wausau, and I want to get up north somewhere. What's up north? Tomahawk.
I don't know.
More north than that, whatever's up there.
My Wisconsin geography's pretty poor. But.
Yeah, I get to Eau Claire and La Crosse and Milwaukee. I want to get around Wisconsin a little bit and help people realize that, hey, there's some pretty good talent going around here.
Sick.
Yeah, you asked good questions, and can't think of anything else. So
Rock on. Well, good luck with the music. Keep it up. I'll keep following you. It's just a blast to watch you do what you do.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, and I'll send you these names, and I'm gonna try to get you in on a write, and we're gonna make something happen. All
That'd
right.
be sick. That'd be awesome.